I think I've got an oil leak. As you can see from the mess on the driveway, I've got an oil leak. I thought I'd fixed that before. I better have a look in the engine bay. Ah, right, I can see oil down here. Yeah, oil down there. And up at the top here on the right hand side where this coupling goes, it looks like it's the rocker cover gasket again. I decided to check elsewhere, but I think it's that. So although it's got a new gasket, I'll just have to take it off, clean everything, seal it correctly, and then reinstall it again and tighten it up to the correct torque. First thing we want to do is take off this top intercooler pipe off using a pair of plumber's pliers on the clip. Just move that to one side so then you can get the cam belt cover off. It's just attached with two little clip lever brackets on either side. Right, now what you need is a 10mm socket on a 1/4 inch wrench and loosen off all the bolts, which are captive bolts, so you shouldn't be able to take them out of the head, they shouldn't come loose, but some are not easy to get to. The hardest ones being at the back, and especially around the EGR valve and manifold. So I found I could use a long extension and a little swivel. This is the difficult one to get to. You have to just feed it down and guide the socket onto the bolt head using your other hand. Well, once you've unfastened them all, then you'll go around and loosen them all off. Then you just grab hold of the filler spout and rattle it from one side to another to dislodge it. Just pull these fuel and water pipes forward a little bit and keep jiggling the rocker cover and it'll eventually come out. So it's just tight around the EGR valve assembly. Here's all the captive nuts and the seal, rocker cover rubber gasket. Now let's have a look at the surfaces on the cylinder head. Well, there's certainly oil pooling around this area here, so that's probably the culprit. Not that this is an actual reliable indicator of an actual leak, it just means that oil tends to pool in these areas, and there's oil along the top edge. The other camshaft end doesn't look too bad. And you can see all the old sealant, which I'll have to remove, although it looks a lot thicker at the back. There's oil along the back edge, right down to the front edge. The extra sealant here looks okay. So I don't know why it's leaking. The front looks a little bit compromised, but I'm not quite sure, really. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did I seal it correctly? Was there enough sealant on? Was there too much? Is it in exactly the right place? So the first thing I'm going to do is dry the mating surface up on top of the head with a cloth. Then remove the old silicone on the end cam covers. Well, the best method to do this on, I don't know. I'm using a little screwdriver and my thumb and finger. What I don't want is to lose any of these bits inside the head. That's that one, just clean that off. That's not too bad. Right, the other side. Then I'm going to run over the mating surface with a brand new standard knife blade. And finally some very fine emery cloth or paper. And then turn to the seal on the rocker cover. Sort of dry it all off. So I rub it dry with a cloth first. And then to make sure all the grease is removed, I'm just going to use some brake cleaner on it. And now we're ready for the sealant. This is the high temperature sealant that I've got. I'll put a link in the description where you can get hold of this. I'm going to put it on the joint between the camshaft cover and the head, and also over the camshaft cover. Again, whether I'm doing this right, I don't know. Whether I'm doing it too much or too little. Clean my cap out. I'm not going to use this for a bit and that'll go hard, no doubt. There we go, nice and clean through the middle. See daylight through that. Right, I'm going to return the rocker cover. So marry it up where the screws are and then sort of jiggle it into place. And do a little dance at the same time if you like. Might help. Now go around and locate all the screws. You're not tightening them, you're just making sure they go into the threads. Then get your torque wrench out, set on the correct torque, and you've got to tighten them up in a certain order. Here's the order. Just follow that guide and you'll be right. Now that's done. I'm just going to stick the cam belt cover back on. And the intercooler. Start the engine and check for leaks. And when you're happy there's no leaks, and the cover, and we're done. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.